Hey everyone, it's Jen with Spirited Saturdays, and this week we're talking about body image. I just want to apologize for this video is a little late in the day. That's because I tried to do it on another computer earlier or last night, and it didn't work. So I had to go on location to shoot this video, aka home, and it totally works out. So yeah, but sorry about that. So we are talking about body image, and just two quick notes. I'm going to link to a video that I did on my own channel a while ago about the differences between liking, loving, and accepting your body. And I'm also going to link to this channel, this girl who's like ridiculous. Yeah, she's just basically the living example of somebody with a healthy body image. And she spreads a great message. So I'm going to link to her channel as well. Her channel's name is the Annie Lee. And so what I want to talk about today, because I'm really, really passionate about this and I love hearing about it from other people and I love spreading the message, is that body image is not congruent with body size or shape. Body image comes from within, and it's unconditional, and it's regardless of size or shape or any fluctuation that may occur for whatever reason. If you feel good inside, your body can still look a number of different ways, and that's all okay. In fact, it's all beautiful. If you feel good inside and it's coming from a good place, it's always, even if it's not, whatever. Let's start that over. No matter how you feel inside, you are allowed to call yourself beautiful, but it would be great if you believed it. So there's no single objective marker for your body reflecting how you feel. Like, a lot of us think that our bodies need to reflect how we feel. Like when we're sick, often in sickness we think our bodies need to reflect how inside we want to be small. We want to, we want to appear as fragile as we feel. We want that validation. We want to embody how we feel. And so, it can count for something. So it's not all for naught, right? Which can get really, really messed up. And, in recovery also, we want to sometimes have our bodies reflect and validate how we feel in our recovery. And so validating how you feel on the inside, like using your body to validate how you feel on the inside, it's just so conditional, because it's not accurate. There's no one way to embody a feeling state. The validation really comes from within, and the body image, the way we perceive our bodies, is an extension of how we perceive ourselves. It's not actually how we feel about our physical body. That's an extension of it. That's great. If we like that, that's amazing. That's fantastic. But that's not the root of it. And so people of all shapes and sizes feel differently toward their own bodies. And so right there you can see there's no one objective way to feel about your body. If you have two people who look very similar to each other, they could still feel very differently, each of them, toward their own bodies. So it's really about themselves and where they're coming from and how they're perceiving things. Themselves, the people around them, everything like that. You don't deserve to feel bad about your body. For example, I have had a history of thinking, why should I deserve to have a positive body image if my body and the way it looks is a direct result of the way I'm treating it? It's the way, unhealthy ways that I'm treating it. Why is it okay for me to unconditionally accept my body? And I've had to work really hard to understand that that's not how it goes. Body image is essentially a reflection of the compassion you have toward yourself. That's what it is. So regardless of the ways that you're treating yourself, regardless of how things in your life might not be perfect, or how maybe you're still, working on your recovery, you're allowed to have compassion that underlies all of that. That's at the heart of it. And so what you actually look like is not the issue. What you look like is not the end result. It's not the telltale sign of how far you've come. It has no bearing on how proud of yourself you're allowed to be. We are works in progress. And so regardless of our size or our behaviors, we're allowed to accept and love our bodies at any point. Loving your body comes from within. There's no amount of external validation that's going to create a backbone. Your self-love is your backbone. And it's like your immune system, and it allows you to fight off the bad bacteria. And so, just as the external validation might give you a little boost, the external negative remarks have just as much power to bring you down if you're in a vulnerable state, or if you're just relying on that. So while it's very important to be able to take in a compliment and internalize that, it's even more important to form a basis of self-love that comes from within. And then the compliment is like the proverbial icing on the cake or whatever. And so how we think about ourselves directs how we feel about ourselves. This is kind of like a progression that I have just come to understand for myself. It kind of goes like how we think about ourselves directs how we feel about ourselves. How we feel about ourselves directs how we treat ourselves. And how we treat ourselves might affect, it may or may not, but it may affect how our bodies change or not change. But any physical portrayal, any physical reflection of those behaviors, of the way you're treating yourself, is irrelevant. We give it a lot of power. If we're underweight, that physical portrayal is irrelevant, but we rely on it. We give it a lot of power if we're sick and we're underweight. Not just underweight, I should say, if we're sick. Whatever size we are, if we're sick, we attribute a lot of power to it, but it's irrelevant. And this can go for anybody. I mean, not just if you're sick. I mean, this is an issue that applies on a continuum. So just keep that in mind too. It's not just for eating disorders, obviously. So you can see, so like I was saying earlier, like two people who are the same size who feel completely differently about themselves is maybe an example of the power that we attribute to the physical portrayal of how we treat ourselves. Two people might look the same and treat themselves completely differently, and maybe as a result feel very differently about themselves. One might feel totally okay with themselves, and one might feel unsatisfied. But what we really need to work on is those initial thoughts and feelings. That is the root, and that's what it comes back to. When we feel good about ourselves, when we accept ourselves, it doesn't even matter that there's something about our bodies that we don't like, because that's no longer the issue. When our strengths exude from within, then the body acceptance will happen, because we will suddenly realize, like a switch going off, that it doesn't matter. Our bodies are amazing for so many reasons. Our bodies physically are amazing. The intricate workings of our bodies are amazing. Our bodies allow us to perceive our worlds. Everything about our bodies serves a purpose. We have bodies. We are bodies. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't matter if, we bear weight. That's good. That that connects us to the earth, that gives us a gravitational pull, bearing weight, having a body makes us physically tied to the earth, which is a beautiful thing, I think. And so it really doesn't matter if my body is bigger than yours, or yours is bigger or smaller than someone else's, or different, or whatever. Our bodies are not supposed to be objects of scrutiny. We didn't come into this world with our bodies serving that purpose. When a person loves us, they love us like we're meant to be loving ourselves, from the inside out, unconditionally. We exude light that others pick up on. We might not be, like, if we're afraid that someone won't love us because of our body size, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's that we're afraid that they won't love us because of how we feel about our size, and that's what we're giving off. We're afraid that they won't love us because of our lack of confidence in ourselves and our insecurity. That's just demonstrating itself in the body size, but that's the symptom, that's the surface, and that's the extension of how we feel about ourselves. If you could imagine taking in a light and directing it toward one single opening, like imaginary opening, like in your head or something in your body, and just filling that little piece of yourself with light and letting it infuse the rest of your body and letting it just naturally fill up your whole body. That is what happens when you learn to have that positive body, that positive self-love, self-acceptance, because it's the basis. It's at the core. All you need to do is put it in one little part, and then it will have like a ripple effect on the rest. So if you insert, like, metaphorically, a light that symbolizes a body love, body acceptance, in like the root of yourself and like the base of your spine, and you just let it simmer, like it's going to spread to all the other areas of yourself. It's not, it's the outcome is going to be a better feeling about who you are as a whole person, not in isolated parts. And so, yeah. And so all you have to do is fuel up that core piece of you that needs attention and that needs love. And it's going to affect the way you feel and the way you care about and the way you honor and respect your physical body. So when you do all of that, and when you do that, things might not suddenly get better. You might still struggle behaviorally, but the idea is that you can accept your body the whole time. Please know that you're allowed that. There's no one standing over you telling you that you don't deserve to love your body. And if there is, please know that they don't make the rules. No one made them king. And you have every right to claim this love. It doesn't mean that some days you might not be comfortable. It doesn't mean that you might eat a heavy meal and feel bloated and that you're not going to struggle. But what it means is that you can accept fluctuation and you don't have to react to feelings of discomfort. It can become more manageable. So remember, just to end this, our bodies are gifts. Whatever you believe, even if you don't believe in anything, anyone can appreciate their bodies. Anyone has that ability. You can appreciate what your bodies do for you and how they take care of you, how they operate in order to keep you surviving and living an optimal life, how they all balance out kind of awesomely. And, just use your body to experience life, to feel passion, to feel love toward yourself, toward others, to experience gut reactions to things, to experience genuine laughter, and to experience all things physical and emotional. Weight gain or loss might be an outcome of some kind of a struggle, or it might be a benefit of recovery. And of course, in many cases, it's a reason to feel proud of yourself. But at baseline, Be proud of the work you've done, and at baseline, be concerned about the work you need to do, not only the surface, not only the outcome. That can let you down in an instant if you're vulnerable or having a bad day and you need something deeper to rely on. So you deserve that self-love. You deserve to have a positive body image, and have a great day.